You know what? Now is probably the best time to do this. Let's do a UPS battery test. Because I haven't done one of these in a while. You need this circuit. And that would be this unit right here. And it would be the unit in here. So you can see about 24 minutes runtime on this unit, which this unit only does. I'll shut the light off here. It does my 2 network switches, which this one barely has anything on it. It's a gigabit switch. Most of my connections are on this one. And it does that access point, but that access point is not critical. What is critical is I need to keep the NVR on down here and keep this switch online. Now, because that second switch, the smaller one, runs the access points. It runs this access point, and it runs up here. It runs this one right here. The time is currently 2 a.m. And I'm going to let this run for, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. The one in there should run, in the storage room there, should run for about 25, 30 minutes. This one down here, this older unit, if I turn the flash on, this one here should run for a couple hours. As all it is doing is just backing up the ONT. That's all this one does. Now for out here, I've got the gaming computer. Oh, my camera's filthy. There, that's a little bit better. I got the gaming computer. I do have a couple consoles out here. But I don't have battery backup. I only have an ISO bar here. And some of the stuff's not even on the ISO bar because I ran out of outlets. Now this is just this is not a big load, so that's kind of why I didn't bother to unwrap the whole cord. And this computer does not need to be on battery backup. Like this cord here just runs this TV that I'm temporarily using for my setup, and I just realized I fucked my clock up. I forgot the clock is plugged in there, which is on the same circuit as the bedroom. That outlet, and then there's one more down there for the exit signs, which would be that one right there. And it's literally just, it runs to that one, and it runs down to that one. But for out here, I plan on getting, not a traditional UPS, but I plan on getting one of those portable power stations for out here. And I've been looking into the brands. I've been looking into Jackery. I've been looking into EcoFlow. I've been looking into Bluetti. I've been looking into the Anker ones. Whatever Anker calls theirs. I can't remember now. I have decided on a brand. I do have one ordered. It's on its way, and as soon as it arrives, I'm going to make a video on it. I guess while we're doing the test here. This one right here. An APC back UPS ES350. I don't know why it took me that long to figure that it was literally written on top of the unit there. This unit, I believe, is from 2004. Was the date code on it. And it's getting old. I put a new battery in it. It's 205, by the way, 5 minutes. So I think I'm going to replace this unit. I just put a brand new battery into this one, but I would like a little bit more power than just, 210 watts. I would also like one that doesn't beep at me all the time like that, with no way to disable it. I think this one can be plugged into a computer. Actually, I don't remember now. Can this one be plugged into a computer? Yeah, this one can be. But I don't have the cable to plug it into a computer, for one. And two, I wish it just had a mute button like the other one does. As well as on top of that, I do want more power output and possible run time. So I think I'm gonna for these, like I plan on replacing that other one too. I plan on putting EcoFlow River 3s here, as those are what, 600 watt output, expandable batteries. One here would probably go for literal hours, considering the little 3.5 amp hour battery, and this one will go for hours. One of those EcoFlow units would probably run for days doing just the ONT. Then for doing my access points and for doing the access points and the NVR there, this technically does not need to be on battery backup, but if I put the power stations on here, then this one does have to be on battery backup. This is what I use for IoT. This is just the TELUS provided unit. I don't really need it. Don't really need it in my setup. But I'm also planning on replacing this unit. Because if you look at the sticker there, these batteries are a little over 3 years old. They're not doing so well. These batteries are pretty shot. As well as the plug on this one had to be replaced. But if I go with a River 3 here, it's got the USB-C output with PD, so I could get rid of this, because this TELUS unit just happens to use I guess I didn't get a very good shot of it there, did I? Just happens to use USB-C for power. So I could replace that. It's already getting on my nerves. It's been about 10 minutes. Almost 9 minutes now. It's 2:10. I could get rid of the extra conversion step there and efficiency loss. Because right now this is going from DC to AC, back to DC for that. And if I could just eliminate that power brick, it would just be a DC to DC conversion, which would be a lot more efficient. I'm going to let this go for another 5 minutes, and then I will be back. Guess in the meantime, while I wait, I plan on adding another portable power station to the bedroom. And I've probably already given away what brand I'm going with my portable power stations here. I'm going with EcoFlow. I'm thinking of a Delta 3 Classic for the bedroom. It's a standalone unit. I can't add extra batteries to it. I'm not going to say what I got for out here, but I will say that I can add expandable batteries to it. And that's a very important part to the setup. Hello, Ninja. That will be a very critical part to my setup, having the optional expandable batteries. Yeah, going in the storage room. But if I find out that the Delta 3 Classic isn't enough for the bedroom, or I decide the unit I bought out here with its expandable battery either isn't enough still, or I need more power output, then I could easily just swap out the unit out here, put this unit into the bedroom, and then have a third power station that I can just use for whatever. For example, a TV that I need to test. I've actually pulled this one down because I need to do some maintenance to this one. This is usually over where that TCL one is. That's why there's that big orange cord there right now. But say I have a TV I need to test, or for Christmas time, when I'm doing my Christmas light setup, I could take the power station with me outside or upstairs, instead of having to like run around with a big thing of Christmas lights in my hand trying to find an outlet and finding out that it's like full or something. I could just plug it into the unit. But I do have one on order. It's on its way. Should be here by they say July 2nd, but it hasn't even left BC yet, so I'm not 100% sure about that one. Because today is the 30th. Tomorrow is the July 1st. Tomorrow's Canada Day. So it literally has to leave BC today to make it here to my door on the 2nd. But when it arrives, I'll make a video. I will say this right now, for right here, and for in the bedroom over there, I'm going with River 3 Plus units, as those ones have the 600 watt output and the expandable batteries. It's been about 15 minutes. Let's see what the run time is on this one. 12 minutes is all that's left to run on this one. This is why I want to replace this unit. It needs new batteries. Also, yes, the lights are technically supposed to be on in here, but I could have just pulled that out and still had light in here. But I didn't. I flipped the breaker, so there's no light in there now. As you can see, none of the lights in here are working, and the switches are on. Now, I'm going to try and get this video out tonight. It's now 2:15, and we're going to flip the breakers back on. The units have passed my 15-minute test, which, the only reason I did a 15-minute test, like, technically you'd want it to run longer, but, I have an inverter. This inverter can do 500 watts continuous. I can take this inverter, and we have an old car in our garage. This old car is no longer driven, but it runs. With that being said, I could take the inverter, run out to the rear garage, fire up the car. Like, I'd have to boost it, but I got a booster here. I got the clamps for it. I could take the booster, go boost the car, start it up, and run an extension cord, hook the inverter up, and within 15-20 minutes I'd have the car started, inverter hooked up, cord ran, and power down here for the UPSs. However, if I go with River 3 units and a Delta 3 Classic in here. Like, if I put one, it'll be right about there. If I have a River 3 unit and a couple Delta power stations, then all of a sudden, I don't have to rush to get the car started. I could run off battery for a little while. And then when they started getting low, then I could go fire up the car. Or if it's summertime, I could go put some solar panels out. I do plan on buying a couple solar panels. So there is options. But these UPS units are dying, so... Or not, well, they're not dying, but the batteries are no good in that one. That one over there is getting old and it has problems. Actually, it might be older than 2004. It could be 2001. It's 2001 or 2004 that one was really... That one was specifically manufactured. Either way, it's starting to wear out. It struggles. Sometimes it struggles to even run the ONT without getting mad. The River 3 units, they won't be coming right away. I'll be getting, for sure, I'll get a River 3 in there by next month. And where the ONT is in the bedroom there. That might be a couple months out still. I'm not willing to spend like $1,000 on these things. I'll get the River 3 Plus for in here with the expansion battery for $500, and then if I think I need one for in there, then I'll get one for in there. I'm not going to buy both right away when I don't even know if I'm going to need it. And like as I said, if I'm getting a Delta 3 Classic or something to go here and power the TV and computer and amplifier in the bedroom, then what the fuck is stopping me from grabbing an extension cord and plugging that UPS into the EcoFlow? Absolutely nothing. And because of that, I don't know if it's really necessary to get a River 3 for in there. But then it also depends, because when am I going to buy the Delta 3 to go in the bedroom? What if I don't buy one for here? What if I wait and decide that I need a bigger unit out here and buy the bigger unit out here in a year? That's all comes into play here. Worst case is I end up with 2 River 3 Plus units and expansion batteries, and I just have a spare one kicking around doing absolutely nothing. Well, not absolutely nothing. I would find a purpose for it. I can't show it, so I'm going to shut this off really quick. But there's a monitor right here, and if you follow the cable, it's not very great for it, but that's the only way that this cable works. If you follow it, that goes up into the ceiling. And you can probably get an idea of what this monitor's for. So we come into the storage room. Oh, hey, look, the lights are on now. Oh, my flash shut off. I wonder what this cable might be for. You know, the HDMI cable that goes up the wall and then runs over here. Yeah, I know there's another HDMI cable here. This one's abandoned. Like this cable that won't fucking stay in place anymore. There we go. This is the one I'm using. But yeah, that's what that's for. Technically, I could just punch a hole through this wall and run it through the wall, but why when I can run it through the ceiling? I would much rather do it that way. Because that is easier to deal with than That is easier to deal with than punching a hole in the wall and having to patch that later if I ever move this monitor. Because at one point it was on this desk right here. And the other cable used to run out of this tile here where I got these other cables running through. Up there somewhere there's an HDMI cable that's just abandoned in the ceiling. But I could put an EcoFlow River 3 there and keep this monitor going for probably hours, days maybe. I don't think this monitor draws much power. I could put this lamp on it behind on battery backup if I wanted to while I was at it. I could put the freezer on battery backup. This Onkyo receiver here has problems. See, if I unplug it, I don't know which cord it is here. This one, I think. Yep. You can see if I unplug it and plug it back in, it doesn't come back on, and when I turn it on, it's lost all its settings. So putting this thing on battery backup would be perfect for it. Also, now I gotta go through and reset my settings. But yeah, this thing would totally benefit from having a little battery backup unit on it. So if I ever unplug this thing or blow a breaker or need to move it, because like this is temporarily set up here. Those speakers and this amplifier are not staying here. I've got that amplifier and those speakers. I'd much rather use those than this one and those speakers. Even if these are really nice speakers with the built-in plate amps, I'd rather my PA stuff. But that's a perfect example of what one of those River 3 units would be good for. 600 watt output would be probably more than plenty for this thing. Draws what? 6.3 amps? Okay, technically that would be undersized for this 6.3 amps at 120 volts, 756 watts, but that's about the most speakers that are ever plugged into this thing. And that's about as loud as it ever goes. So, this thing doesn't really draw more than like 400 watts. So that would be fine for this. Well, this is kind of counterintuitive. I could use it on this computer. Okay, this runs my Unify stuff. Yeah, this is a laptop, but this laptop has a bad battery. So I'm giving this thing an EcoFlow unit. That would benefit this thing quite a bit. So it's not like if I put an EcoFlow unit, an EcoFlow River 3 Plus in the bedroom on the ONT and then decide I don't need it anymore. It's not like I can't repurpose it somewhere. It's the same story as the Delta 3 Classic that I plan on getting for in there. If I decide that I don't want, not that I don't want, but like if I decide that the Delta 3 Classic isn't enough power, and I get the Delta 3 Max Plus or something, or I decide for out here, the one I got for out here isn't enough power, and I get one of their great big units, or I want to switch to Jackery or Blue Eddy or Anchor or someone, and I want to put the EcoFlow into the bedroom with the expansion battery that I plan on getting later, if I need it, which I think I probably will. And I have an extra Delta 3 Classic laying around that I can repurpose. I'd probably put it on that laptop, or I'd put it on the ONT and just have a really ridiculous UPS for the ONT. Or again, when I'm doing a project, if I'm working on a TV or something, I don't have to dig out a big heavy extension cord. But it's like, what, 2:30 in the morning probably now. That was a pretty good guess. And somebody thinks she can go in the storage room, but she knows she's not allowed in there. I'm going to get this out. I should probably go edit it right away. So, yeah, thanks for watching. Just stay tuned until I get the new power station in so I can make a video on that.